Hey guys, it's Liz with Abyss, and I have Andrea Gronau tonight with me. She is one of our investigators with Abyss Paranormal. So everybody say hello, Andrea.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, there we go. You
Can
got a
you hear me?
delay. Yep,
Sorry.
we can
Yeah,
hear you now.
we're here. I
Okay,
couldn't get her to come up. I'm like, oh
that's okay. I was just going to try to talk about absolutely nothing, I guess, until you came
no.
back on. So,
That's good.
but
It's like, oh,
uh, all right. So, Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
oh my gosh. Been with Abyss, I think, since like 2008 or 9. I can't remember exactly. It's been forever. Um, Vicky could verify that, but I think it was 2009. And I've been with the group on and off ever since.
Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about your life and
Well, we've been
um,
military. We've moved all over the world. We've been to Germany 3 times. Rob's been to Korea. I didn't go there. Um, and then we came here and retired and it's just stayed here forever. Now I work again. And so I think we're hanging out a while longer.
okay. All right. So, don't think you're going to be moving anytime soon and all that?
No, I'll let you know.
Good.
I really don't think so.
Okay. All right. And so what drew you to Abyss Paranormal? What happened?
I was in Mel's shop in the, I can't remember what it was called way back then. It was downtown in Waynesville, and they had like a cake shop and a metaphysical shop. They sold teas and herbs and oils and all that stuff. And she's got another store out in the country now. But that's where I met them. They had a little group come in to do an investigation, and I was just there at the right time.
Oh, okay. All right. So then is that when you met Vicky and started getting more involved and all that?
Yep, yep. That was, I didn't go to that one. I just heard about it and met them, and then we got together later on.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool. See, and I thought that she said you might have joined in 2007. I don't know if that sounds right or
I'm
not,
not
but
sure. I've been with the group so
right.
I've
Yeah.
been with the group so long I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Well, that's
I think
family.
she
So,
referred to you as one of the first members, so
yep,
so
yep. I remember just, yeah, this little group. Thank you.
hey Vicky.
Is she out there too? I can't see chat.
So, I think on the it should look like mine. Hey Bootsy, on the right-hand side there's a bar and at the
Um,
very bottom it says chat. If you click that it should open up the chat.
okay, well, if I click something, I'll probably lose my video.
Okay. She says
I'm not going
2000
to risk it.
she says 2006 is when you joined.
Oh, wow. That is a long time, I guess.
That is a long time. Yeah.
I, I have issues with time, so it just feels like it's natural now.
Right.
Around so long, 2006. Wow.
Excuse me. I was gonna say I thought she had said you're one of the like absolutely originals. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
and then
I am an original, I guess. Yay.
yeah, and
So,
then Ruben and I came. I guess probably a couple of years later.
yep, I remember when you guys joined the group.
Yep. So before meeting her though, did you have an interest in the paranormal?
Oh, yes, I've always been interested in the paranormal. I've done a lot of reading. So I looked at stuff like the gray lady, that ghost, like the spirit on the staircase that everybody has seen. And that got my interest into it. And so then I've always tried to been doing better photography
Okay.
and trying to catch my share of ghosts. I've had a couple of good ones. So
Okay. Well, do you have any of those available that we can share?
Not right at the moment.
Okay. That's okay.
Maybe
Um,
time.
so what were some of your favorite catches though?
Oh man. Well, the one we did at that Lord, in Carthage, the little girl in the corner in the win
Oh,
in the upstairs window.
um,
I caught I did catch her on that one. That was a good one.
I'm going so blank right now.
Carthage
Yeah.
at the hospital.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw your
yeah.
picture on the Global Ghost Hunt commercial. I was like, all right. I saw you and Steve. And you were doing that up at the top of the stairs. I think you were doing the Estes.
I didn't see that.
Haha, I saw something you didn't see.
I have to go look.
Yep.
Okay. Well, make sure you're sharing it out when you see it, though.
Yes.
We got to help them get the word out. Speaking of which, everybody who's on here, if you are a paranormal investigator, Global Ghost Hunt is doing their show for free this year. And so there's no fees for entries. Good thing. It helps everybody get out there. So,
That's
Kendrick House.
yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of it either. I knew it was in Carthage, but
Vicky reminded us.
thank you, Kendrick. Yep.
I
That was
always forget the name of it.
cool. That was a cool location. I enjoyed that one.
I wish I could own that house and like restore it. I mean, it's just a.
Mhm.
Oh no! See, I love it. I think it's just absolutely just a glorious house. I love it so much.
It is a neat house. I think it is awesome and it's just built well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Look how
Because
long it's been around.
and not to mention like all the storms that went through the area, the Southwest Missouri area, just right there from Joplin. I
Right.
mean, everything comes off of Kansas and Oklahoma, and you know it's withstood some storms.
Oh yeah, right up the pike where we come right up with us. Right up
Yep,
along 44.
yep. So, hey, Dina.
Hi Dina.
So sorry, my phone's still blowing up. Um, okay, so since you started though, I guess then you're saying the Kendrick House catch was your most all-time favorite catch?
Well, that was really good. Yeah, that was for the global ghost hunt thing. There's been several, but I couldn't tell you right now. I wish I could. I know Vicky would remember a couple. We've had several, but it's just kind of 50-50 shot. Hopefully, you'll catch something and you can't make them perform. Hopefully, you'll get something like a photo, an orb, and a live orb to add
Right.
orb controversy. Yes, I believe in orbs. It's a
Okay.
very simple form.
Right. So my take on orbs is that it is in fact I think it's just a ball of energy. And one thing that I learned from Vicky is the one way to tell if it's a legit orb or a bug or dust or anything like that is that it would have to emit its own light.
Mhm.
So when I was going through some of the footage, for instance, of their most recent investigation, there were some spots in some of your pictures, and so that's what the first thing I did. She was like, possible orb, possible orb. So I took them, I went right in on them. I mean, like they're like taking up the whole picture, and then I brightened them, lowered the I did everything I could imagine to see if it emits a light, and I'm like, okay, this one doesn't emit a light, so it's not an orb. But
And it was
and then the
dusty.
other ones, I'm like, how do you explain that shape though? That makes no sense.
That's interesting. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. That's what made it unique.
So you know which one I'm talking about? Yeah. It was like a blob,
Yeah. Could just
kind
been
of.
a little blob or maybe a bell.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I guess it did kind of look like a bell.
Yeah, it looked like first I thought it was one of those picture or the price labels hanging off some of the merchandise because it was that shape. And I'm looking, going, that's not a price label.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, I had to work that one out for a few minutes because there was price labels, and when the heating system would kick on, it would flap the labels, and of course your eye goes right to that. What is that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Vicky says good EVPs and orb at Cafe Italia. She was trying to help you remember some good ones.
Oh yeah, yeah. And in Conway, we had the one that we had other issues with. That was a super good one. We had a three-way, you know, it was like everything caught that one. That was fun.
So she brings that one up a lot, and I literally,
Well,
the only thing
like
I
I
remember,
think one of your first ones.
it
So it
was
might have been just like, you know, you
because
have to
the
be focused and there's
only thing, right, and the only thing I remember about that entire investigation was when the game wardens showed up. You know what I mean?
yep.
That's it. I remember the shape of the house, like the inside had a very high vaulted ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it. She even talks about members of our group I don't remember that were there.
Yeah, they had a couple at different people at the time.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, way back at Cafe Italia days. Wow, that was a long time ago too.
That must have been back when you got, because I wasn't a part of that one. So that was back
We
in
had
the day.
one from there was like a hanging person that hung himself, and we had an EVP that said, "I've been running all day and something else," and he robbed a bank, and that I don't remember verbatim. I know we've got it written down somewhere, but that was a
Like it was a
long.
whole storyline.
Well, you could get a lot in a few EVPs, but this one was pretty on. You've heard some of our EVP sessions. So, yeah, you can carry on a slow conversation if you're lucky.
Right. Vicky also said women on or in on bank and tree line at Crybaby
Ooh,
Holler.
yeah, that was a good one too. Vicky caught that one. She caught the lady in the trees. That was neat. I've been wanting to go to Crybaby Holler, but we just never get to go down there. And I always go by it going to the lake, and I'm like, no,
I don't think I've been there with you guys.
mm-mm. I've
I
been
haven't. Okay.
out, but my friend freaked out, so we had to come back. She had she had been down there before, and her car died and the whole
That
thing.
would freak me out. I'd be
And
like,
then her phone rang, and it had an unknown. Don't answer it. She just panicked. So I took her back up the hill.
I think I'd be panicking. Okay, so Dina wants to know more about Crybaby Hollers. Can you kind of give some more information about it?
Oh my.
I might have to invite Vicky onto the show so that she can share
Yeah,
some of this too.
it could be beneficial too, because where I
Well,
can't remember, she has a better memory than I do.
Vicky, if you can join, I know that you're kind of on standby for some things, but if you can, just join our chat and you can help with some of these stories. So, what do you know of Andrea of it? Do you remember any of it?
I have not been down there, but like I said, we almost got down there until my friend freaked out. They were the ones who really had went. I think back in the day when Marty was with us. Um, that was a long time ago too, and he had a pretty good sighting on his own as well,
Huh.
being sensitive and all. There was quite a few good pictures. Yeah.
I tend to confuse Crybaby Holler with the Graffiti Bridge in Lebanon. So
And I've not been to Graffiti Bridge yet either, so
you didn't go with? I thought you went with us.
not to Graffiti Bridge. We went to Ashley Park.
Well, I remember we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, a couple times, I believe, didn't we?
I only did it once. Maybe you guys did it before me too, though. But that's a tragic story related to Ashley Park. Ashley Park in Lebanon is the place where this kid, Zach, was murdered by a large group of people because um, he sent a text message to somebody that was misinterpreted, and adults, actual adults,
Oh.
found Zach, beat him down at this park, and I mean he died from it, unfortunately. And his friend that was there, he was paralyzed for the rest of his life, or something to the effect. He's now got some disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Vicky, I don't know if this is to remind you, but she quoted, "I didn't have a choice. Oh my God, they're chasing me."
Oh, wow.
Help you or anything?
Okay.
You know what she's talking about?
I didn't have a choice.
Oh, that's the quote of the guy who hung himself. I remember her telling that
Thank
story.
you. And I
Yes.
remember, yeah, I didn't have a
Yep.
choice. That's been a long time ago, Vicky. Whoo.
I know that girl's got a memory on her.
I know. Well, like I said, she's got a better memory than me and can tell it better than me, but I
Right.
remember a lot, even though I'm fragmented.
So
And you,
for everybody who wanted an update, Vicky is doing well. She did have surgery just this last week, and she's healing well. She's up and about and going. So her surgery went very well. So I know she's thanking you guys probably for keeping her in her thoughts, your thoughts and stuff like that. Oh, okay. So yeah, Vicky confirmed that was the EVP at Cafe Italia.
yep, yep. That's when we got a lot out of that whole thing. We did. We were there a long time. I remember when the owner passed away. I remember
Wow.
seeing his obituary in the paper. I actually went to his funeral.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or
Okay.
a memorial service, not the funeral.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you since with all of your traveling too, though, have you done any kind of investigations in any of the other countries that you have lived
I never
at?
to investigate over in Germany. We went to old castles, but not in an investigative mode. I was like tourist.
Okay, gotcha. And I didn't know if that was actually before Abyss anyway, or if it was during. So
This
before.
way before.
Okay. Okay.
That
So
was a long time ago.
did you have an interest in the paranormal back then, though?
Oh, of course. It's always been the background UFOs. We've had a couple good sightings on those. I have no photographic evidence, of course, but the sighting itself was so insane. I had
Gotcha.
two good ones.
Where were they at?
They were in Iowa. Well, one was in Iowa when I was like a teenager.
Hmm.
I was going in, we were getting a camper set up, and I'd come back out the camper, and I just, for whatever reason, looked up at the hill, and there was this big gold cigar shaped thing, probably about 3 or 4 football fields long. And it was lit up. It was just solid gold. And,
Wow.
and yeah, and it just hung there in the sky. And I'm like, okay, that ain't right. It's not moving. And I stood there a little while longer. I just kind of said, I think I better go get dad.
And when you
Well,
came
dad,
out, it was gone, wasn't it?
no, it was there for a while. Dad would not come out and look at it. Dad would not acknowledge it. It was very sad too, because where he used to work and all, I thought maybe, he'd give us say, oh, well, yeah, maybe there's an option to, maybe that could happen. They're instructed not to talk about it. But he wouldn't even come up. That what got me. And I, needless to say, I didn't sleep in the camper that night. After a while, it went away. I tried to get my mom. She wouldn't come out either. She says, "Oh, my stuff isn't real." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "But mom, it's out there." you
Well,
know. You
you know,
know.
you've been validated though. Recently, the government said there is, in fact, aliens and UFOs.
There
So,
has to be. The crap I've seen is just illogical, and that's what that's what it is. If you've seen it and it messes you up, and you're like, how could that be possible? You know?
yep,
Yeah.
yep. So on along that line or whatever, how do you feel about cryptids?
I believe in Bigfoot. I'm an avid fan of, what is it, honey? Exhibition Bigfoot.
Oh yes. Uh huh.
Yeah, I'm a couple days behind on that one, I think. But it's been pretty intense. I just want to know what they're going to do if they do see, what are you going to do if you do come up
I
on them?
mean, that is the
Are you
question.
prepared? Are you prepared for this, for the consequences? I guess.
Exactly, exactly. I mean,
Like,
if you're
they're going
going
to be
looking
mad
for them, you might just find them.
hmm
So, you know, Steven and I did an episode on Bigfoot or whatever, and he didn't find much research on it. But what do you think about the idea that Bigfoot is in fact Yeti, and Yeti is in fact the Momo here in Missouri?
I
And
think they're all original Earthlings that were here before us, maybe, or
are
here
you,
to I think they have something to do with the forests. I don't know. There's so much unknown about them. They're so weird. They can turn into a bear. There's so many rumors, just people they've been having some really good investigations if anybody else watches that.
actually, yeah, Dina just said she's like, I love that series. So
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm leaning forward. I can't wait. I hope they find something. They're so close.
I my theory is that, like, kind of like what you said, I do think that if Bigfoot were to exist, I do think that he is the pre-evolution of man, so to speak. One of
hmm
the older type of Homo sapiens. I do believe he's like the descendant maybe of the original caveman, so to speak. You
Right.
know, if we look at the theory of evolution, then they're all related. Okay, so she's saying if you think that they're interdimensional, then they all are related.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they
because
have unknowns on that.
right. So in anyway, so my theory is that like if we do subscribe to the theory of evolution, okay, and we supposedly were an evolution from apes,
hmm
okay, who's to say that they are not the unevolved version of the Homo sapien from the ape? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
the
The
missing
hair,
her,
huh?
the missing link
Maybe,
between
you know,
Homo sapiens.
yeah. Um, I mean, but it makes sense, and the only reason why they're big and bulky and such or whatever, not like your typical ape or man, is because again of evolutionary purposes, they have to be able to withstand and survive out in the wilderness in all terrain, all weather, you
Yeah,
know.
it
So
could
they're
make them larger. Yes.
yep.
Trying to fix that glare. Sorry. Woo.
Because if we even just here in America, in Colorado, there are deer that, or I'm sorry, Florida, there are deer that roam the streets, and because it's so overpopulated, the deer are actually much smaller than like the deer we have here, the white-tailed deer in the forest.
That's bad.
Yep, and it's the same thing in Asia.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Um, yeah. So I imagine that's just my theory though, that Bigfoot is just an unevolved Homo sapien who had to bulk up to survive.
Mm-hmm. They said there is a human element in their findings even, but then there's something else that they're not sure of, whatever it could be.
Right. Dina said there was a time that they thought that they had a Bigfoot behind a bush, but when they went to investigate further, there were all these small orbs of light in that spot. Huh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's rumored they could disappear. So
Maybe the
they try.
interdimensional thing.
Yeah, there's that interdimensional thing again that we just don't know about.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. So next week Steve and I are talking about mermaids.
Mm.
What are your theories on a mermaid?
I don't have enough information. I remember being a little girl and going to Cypress Gardens where they had women that did mermaid act.
Yeah.
they did the underwater, but the tube and everything, they were quite beautiful. I wouldn't have mind being a mermaid, but I don't believe that there is a half fish, half human mermaid, so to speak. I don't think so.
I think I was meant to be a mermaid.
I like water. Like I said, I could be a mermaid.
Yep, because I love being at the water. If I could have my dream house, it would be in the mountains, in the forest, overlooking the ocean.
I know of a place. Sorry.
What place would that?
Encinitas, California.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay,
yeah, that's cliffside, and it's
gotcha.
really pretty up there. I don't want to
Gotcha.
get too close to the damn cliff, but there's hills and mountains. It's really a nice area.
Right. So, I theorize, and I think it's a common theory, but not 100% sure, that mermaids are in fact like the sirens written about in the Odyssey.
Hmm.
So, what do you think about that idea?
I still don't know. Like I said, I've never been a firm believer in the mermaids, even though, like I said, I could be the mermaid, you know, just like
Right.
you could, but I don't know. I just never really, I thought about it maybe like in Greek mythology or something or wherever
Mhm.
that came from, but I
Right.
didn't anything past it.
Gotcha. Have you ever watched that show Paranormal Caught on Camera?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Rob says yes.
Well, there was one video of this woman captured. She was sitting in her car and I think she was at a lake, which is what really kind of like, it's not like the big, vast ocean or something. But, anyways, she supposedly caught a mermaid on there or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know if it was like maybe one of those mermaid actors you were talking about. Maybe she was out there practicing. You know what I mean? Because that's the only footage I've ever seen of something like that.
Where was it again?
I'm sorry.
Where was that again?
I don't remember where she filmed it, but
Mm.
it
It
was.
would depend a little bit.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. I keep
It
cutting
would
you off.
it would depend on the location, if that
Oh,
makes,
right.
because that would
It
be a little bit unusual, you know.
it definitely was in the U.S. Like I remember, she had no accent, like of the European descent or anything like that. She definitely sounded very American. And Vicky. Now we've all seen Ariel. Okay, well
Well, yeah.
I wanted to be Ariel. Ah,
Be
lucky bitch.
fun.
But anyway, yeah, but it was definitely in America. That's what I'm saying. I think it was in a lake, and I'm like, why would a
Oh,
mermaid just be hanging
but
out in the lake?
that's what makes it weird, right? It's like, what
Yes.
was that about? Wow. What was, maybe we don't know.
Yep.
It
Well,
could be happening.
if it was the Great Lakes, I'd almost bet it could be possible because those things
It's
are as big as
yeah,
the
that's
ocean.
why I said location kind of matters because it could be
Yeah.
plausible. We don't know what's in there and what's survived.
Dina says a lake. Nah.
Like the Great Lakes, like Lake Superior, it's like an ocean in itself.
It's freaking huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I
Why?
first saw it, I think it was Superior we saw, maybe even Erie. But
Yeah.
um
Where you going
my
to New York?
goodness. I pull up and I'm like, that's not a lake, that's a freaking ocean. And the
Yeah.
sand is just blowing and you're getting beat down. Place is a dangerous lake.
Like there's that lake effect snow. We have friends in that part of New York that like out off of Lake Erie.
Okay, so it was
Oh,
Erie that I saw.
oh yeah, the snow is to the top of the garage. It's crazy. And I'm like, that's too much snow.
I've I've seen pictures and videos, and some of those houses, the way that, oh my, they're like just pure ice. The whole thing is just a big old brown ice cube, and I'm like, how do they survive something like that?
I don't
It's just
know.
crazy to me.
That's you have to be used to that kind of living. I lived in Iowa, and I didn't die, but I always had a cold. So
Oh, gotcha. Maybe that's why you didn't die. It's all like, oh, girl, you're strong. You got this. um, so anything that you're looking forward to this year with maybe our investigation with Global Ghost Hunt?
ooh, yes, location
Yeah.
options.
Yes.
Oh,
So we've confirmed, of course, that we're not doing the USS North Carolina. It's booked up.
okay.
But I think from what Vicky and Jonathan was saying, we're probably still going to do John Martin's home and a cemetery near there, or it is John Martin's cemetery. I'm not sure, and a possible clinic.
That'll
Yeah.
be interesting. We've never looked at those before.
Vicky said that the sailors have a lot of stories of mermaids. You know, some of the people though have said that the sailors might have been mistaken and thought that manatees were mermaids. I'm
Mhm.
sitting there going,
I've heard that too.
manatees are freaking huge and not even close to
That's not
human like.
an alluring woman of the water.
Unless you want to look at all them curves. I mean, they're voluptuous.
Hey, I guess after you've been at sea a while, anything looks good.
Oh yeah. Hey Ruben, you were a sailor. The manatees look
Oh,
good.
yep.
Oh yeah.
He says, "Oh yeah." um. So, I mean, of those three, though, are you excited about any of that?
Yeah, actually. I can't remember where we said that were thinking about, but I hadn't looked any of it up. I hate to say that I haven't, but I haven't.
The John Martin house is what has me the most excited. So, you know the movie, The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
I remember the movie, but I don't remember anything about it.
Okay, so he
Go,
was, huh?
go on.
Okay, so he was a soldier who had retired. I know, right? That's the problem with the manatee. It's too much rum.
Too much rum. That's exciting.
So, anyways, he was a soldier,
Mhm.
and he had this pretty large family. Okay, and he had settled down on in North Carolina, and then the Revolutionary War broke out.
Mhm.
He did not want to join back up in the military. He wanted to just stay retired and be with his family, et cetera, et cetera. But his boys ended up enlisting. And so he ended up kind of having to enlist because to get
Mhm.
vengeance on the death of one of his sons, his oldest son, I think it was. And he
Wow.
formed like this militia, is what it
Mm.
was. And they called him the Ghost. I think that's what they called him. Wasn't it the Ghost? Yeah, because he was untouchable. He was fast. He took out so many British soldiers. And now again, I'm speaking of the movie. I don't know the actual history, so I may be way off on the truth.
Right.
But anyways, he ends up making a very big enemy with one of the British soldiers, and he was the one who killed his son.
Oh,
And so he was seeking him out like a
oh, you
missile.
said you were looking for vengeance, so I kind of gathered
Yes.
that.
Well, he ends up burning down his house and all this other stuff, and like John Martin's house.
Right.
So I don't know if that's true or not, and that's what makes me kind of wonder if we're going to John Martin's homestead. Is the house still there? Did it really burn down? Did they rebuild it? That sort of thing. So
That could happen.
yeah. So I'm kind of excited about that one because I think there's a lot of history there and potential for paranormal activity. So
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'd like to. We could get over to St. Louis sometime.
well, I think that Vicky has some plans on that. We were supposed to be meeting up with Dina, I believe, to
Oh, I
check out some
forgot
places.
that.
Yep, we were waiting for her to get moved, et cetera. She is moved now, but I think that she has some other holdups. I'm not real sure what's going on. I know that recently she only got her internet back, stuff like that. So We
It's
have to
always
check.
tough moving.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit to get back in line.
Yep. So we have to check back in with Vicky about that, but I know that she has talked about it, especially just go up and see Dina. You know, are you
Yeah.
leaving?
Yeah.
Okay, I love you.
Sleepover
Did you
bag.
get a new backpack?
Ariana gave it to him.
Oh, okay.
Sleepover bag.
Okay, my son's leaving.
Bye.
Love you. He waved bye. He's not going to get on the camera though.
I understand.
Yeah. No, but when I first started this, though, he'd always walk by with his load of dirty laundry. He had no problems showing himself then.
Things gone by before ours.
Yep. Okay, so Dina said, LOL, where in St. Louis do you want to visit, Andrea?
Ooh, I wanted that cemetery.
I was going to say there was that cemetery you
Yeah.
wanted to go to.
What is it called though? Is it
We found it, remember? It was,
Bell?
I don't remember which one it was.
Not Bartholomew's. It's Saint. Isn't it Saint something? It
You know,
has all the big statue headstones, and it's the old cemetery.
does
That's
that
what
ring a bell, Dina?
surely
Give her,
Dean.
give her, because the chat's not synced up with us. It's a little
Mm,
behind. So
yeah, I said I can't see any of it.
I'm going to go Google real quick.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Oh, not St. Louise.
Oh.
Bellefontaine.
Yes, Bellefontaine. That's it. And it has some.
Ooh, they have some great mausoleums and
Hello, yes, ma'am. They got some interesting, and it's the old cemetery. So those are the people that built St. Louis. So there's a lot of energy there.
oh
And a lot
yeah, Dina. That's
of history.
Dina says I live close to the Illinois border near Alton. I've been to McPike Mansion, and then she even said Bellefontaine while I was searching for it. Yeah, Bellefontaine. And then Vicky says the house was built in the 1700s. She's referring back to Martin, of course. It's ruins, but has great energy. I'm going to share my screen real quick of the Bellefontaine cemetery images. So I'm going to hide our images real quick, Andrea. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that wasn't it. Okay, so I'll just share it and see what happens. Just remember, everybody, last time nothing played, so you know. Okay. All right, can you guys see that?
Not quite yet. Need to scroll up.
No, but can you see the website though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's a fox.
Why is that going? Ugh. Like you can't
Yeah.
see the page.
Hmm.
Like this big old box right here is in the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay. The Wainwright Tomb in St. Louis, Bellefontaine Cemetery is considered one of the best examples of tomb architecture in the United States, drawing visitors from all over the world. Part of its design because it's created by one of the most famous architects who ever lived.
In a world full of memorials to battles won, there are also monuments to loves lost.
Okay, that's going to take forever. They're not giving any images, so that's not okay. Rush Limbaugh is in Bellefontaine, and she said there's a cemetery here in I'm wondering if she meant Bellevue, but she wrote Bellerive, so it might be, maybe it's another town where Chuck Berry's entered. Okay, so that's the one we were wondering if that was it. She says
Right.
I want to go there on one of their tours someday.
Yeah, Adolf Bush is buried there. Yeah, Rush Limbaugh, William Burroughs, a lot of Confederate and American Civil War soldiers. Oh, it says and local and state politicians, but it doesn't go into anything else, any detail.
I think, I mean, I should know this. I know. Everybody forgive me. Wasn't Rush Limbaugh, though, a politician?
No, he was that radio guy who's obnoxious.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. What'd you say, babe? Yeah, he was a radio host.
Okay. I was like, I knew he was
Boss,
famous.
some shit.
I was going to say, I remember he was a famous person. I just didn't remember. But he talked about politics or something then. So.
Yeah, he did a show on the politics or whatever was going on politically.
Right.
I never really listened to it because I heard it once and I couldn't even last 5 minutes. Ba 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 ba. And no.
Right. So okay, so I guess it's the Belafontaine then that we want to go look at.
It's definitely worth our time. So
Dina says yes. What Andrea said. I think she's talking about Rush Limbaugh too.
well, yeah.
And Vicky, yes, very annoying. So, let's look real quick at. I know I'm not sharing my screen just yet, but let's see. John Martin's homestead. Oh, no. Oh, apparently there's a John Martin's Irish pub and restaurant.
Hey, there we go. Now we're talking.
John Martin Homestead, 1823-1904. No, I don't think that's it. Shoekeeper, dance enthusiast. Definitely not the same guy. North Carolina. Huh?
That's intriguing.
Oh, here we go. Colonel Jack Martin Rock House. There we go.
Oh, Rock House.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. So let me know if you can't see it, okay? Okay, can you see it?
Sort of. Oh, it's a rock house, like a actual made of rocks. Rock house.
Yep.
Now that's not what I thought, but that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that.
See if there's any other pictures, but it doesn't look like it.
That is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It looks like it did catch on fire, though. See the darkness around the windows, like smoke?
Yeah. You can see the staining. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So I think that would be a cool place to go check out.
Definitely.
Dina said there's Limp Mansion and Brewery in the city of St. Louis.
Yes.
11 kids. Yes. 11 kids. I was going to say he had a crap ton of kids. I remember John Martin did.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, I think if I remember right, he was raising them on his own because his wife had passed away or something too.
Oh, and, that's Martin. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dina says, ooh, that's a place I'd love to fly a drone over. Definitely. I would want to see inside.
Yeah. Yeah. They've had some interesting homes.
Yep.
That are built with certain specifications.
I mean, and just the design of them are just, I don't know, they're more practical. They were just better, I think. You know what I mean? I don't know. I love those old homes. I think they're fascinating.
I think they are too. I love the old houses in St. Louis. The historical homes are just amazing.
Yes. So that's the thing. If I ever did move to St. Louis, it would have to be in one of those old brick houses. And like if I ever moved to New Orleans, shotgun house.
Oh, yes.
You know, I'm not going to live in no plain house. What's the point of living there?
Well, it depends on the house, so it just depends.
Vicky said that John Martin and his wife and son are buried close by there. I was going to say, I thought she said that his cemetery was there by.
Family cemetery close by.
Yeah. Yep. So that one I'm the most excited about. I think it's going to be a lot of energy because there was just so much tragedy and so many. And I mean, they literally brought the war to his house. It happened right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's got
Um,
a powerful mark there. I don't know what they used his house for.
right. Okay. And so Dina said the homes from 1904 World's Fair architecture is
Mm-hmm.
in downtown St. Louis.
Yes.
It's beautiful infrastructure. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
I love St. Louis. There's so much there. It's the energy of the city, super nice.
I absolutely love St. Louis. I always say though, I go up to exploit St. Louis and its goodies, and that
Yeah.
bitch pays me back every time I go up there. Man, I had to literally trade in my car. I haven't even had it a year. And I
Oh,
get to St. Louis, the thing breaks down. I have to get a new car while I'm in St. Louis. I come back the next time because we went up there for a concert. The car breaks down then. The concert was canceled. I had to go
oh,
back to St. Louis. And then I hit a freaking tire in the middle of the interstate with its ball
oh,
joint still sticking up. It just cut the underbelly of my poor baby. Brand new car. I just got it like a month before that. You know,
oh,
St. Louis, she paid me back. She hates me,
oh
but I
my
love
goodness.
her. I can't get
I know.
enough of her.
Like I said, a lot to do in St. Louis, and we try to go. We don't go as much as we used to. We'd take in hockey games,
Right.
and we'd stay the weekend, and then go like to the park or something.
So when Ruben and I went up there that second time, I believe it was after we got away from, got the car. I was reading her message. Got the new car. We actually got an Airbnb, and it was the house of the man who built the Limp Mansion. And
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
well, supposedly it was haunted. That's what she told us, and that's what she listed it as. You know, she said St. Louis is a biatch. Sure is. She hates me, but I love her. I can't get enough of her. I will exploit her till the very end. All the good stuff. The spaghetti, the freaking
Oh my God,
pizza.
pizza! Holy shit!
Yes. The
Italian
Chinese food. I'm all about the food.
Chinese over there, but I have had the Italian over in Little Italy, and oh man,
So, we went to the spaghetti factory, the
yeah.
original one,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know what the hype was all about. I did not care for it. It tasted like somebody poured tomato sauce out of a can
Hmm.
and didn't season it. Didn't do, I wasn't
Oh,
happy.
sad. I've not been to the spaghetti factory, so
I think it's not what it was called, the spaghetti factory.
mhm,
Okay,
up there.
so
I've heard of it.
okay.
It's supposed to
Um,
be really good.
well, anyways, we stayed at that Airbnb,
Oh yeah,
and
that
we
works.
actually had just gotten our stationary cameras, and we took them with us to set up while we were not there.
Mhm.
We didn't catch a damn thing.
Oh boo.
Yeah, nothing. I was like, really? I mean, of all the places, that place should be haunted. You know.
Yeah, you'd think, but then maybe they, like you said, we said before, you can't get them to come out.
Yep. So, and that's the thing too. So, speaking of those types of investigations, so like, um, I'm assuming you mean that their spaghetti sauce was awful. It tastes like they just poured tomato sauce out of a can because it was awful. It was a
That's
waste of
bad.
money.
And you
It was a
probably
cool.
get in line for it too.
Well, no, we didn't. Well, no, we did have to wait a little bit, didn't we? But the building was cool. I mean, that's the only thing I would give it credit for. But um, so what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, investigations.
Mm, yes.
Since you've been with the BIS, though, do you remember of any investigations where you guys showed up and there was just absolutely nothing? You're like, well, this was a waste of time.
I don't remember. I know there might have been a place or so. It just wasn't much happening. The
Well,
one I remember the most is the one with the wildlife. That
that
was
one sticks.
out of control, and the land was just angry. This was a case.
Well,
Land was angry. I've never seen that. It was insane. But that's the only thing it could have. It had to
that,
be.
because
Oh,
that family was doing crazy illegal things and, not worried about conservation at all.
decor and their outside decor and what they
Mhm.
fed their pets.
Yep.
Yeah, that was, but in that house, there really wasn't anything happening.
Mhm.
I never felt anything except being watched by these little tiny eyes of all these animals on the wall everywhere.
Yep.
It was like the doll invasion in the stairwell.
Yes. So Vicky says Conway drug out didn't get a lot. Conway drug out didn't get a lot.
You're talking about how the cops pulled us over.
Are you talking about when the cops pulled us over
No,
and stuff?
no. Where was that? Oh my gosh. That was the one out in the country. I don't know if, where was it? No, the Conway one was where they got pulled over.
Well, the one I remember that there was nothing was the one in Hartville.
Oh, Hartville wasn't happening except that weird doll area.
Yeah. And then we also had that house over there on Bryce Street in Lebanon. I don't think we really got anything out of that either. But no, Dina, we have never investigated a mine. That would be cool.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
And Dina suggested a cave. Well, I think I said it maybe on the last show, but we did call a cave local to where I live. And they decided that, well,
They would rather not. Oh,
Vicky was just the devil.
tell her I'll call her back.
And what we were doing was
Liz.
evil and, she just went off on Vicky. And we were just kind of like, okay, then. So, of course, I did some research into this local to me cave. And I'm not naming names because I'm not going to get sued for anything. But they may not condone paranormal investigations because they're ignorant and don't understand what it actually is. But they do allow drug addicts to run their booths and be arrested on site. And, there was sell paraphernalia, stuff like that, and that was cool. That wasn't of the devil at all. Let everybody get messed up. It's cool. So,
Uh-huh.
oh, it's that one. So you probably know which one I'm talking about, Dina, because there's really only one cave that has booths and sell things, but, yeah, it was awful. Poor Vicky. Do you remember how upset she was? That was awful. That was just recently. We were getting ready to do our last global ghost hunt, and she was trying to find a location.
Oh, right.
Do you remember that?
I remember several things, but I don't remember what all. I'm not always there.
Well, she's like, I'm used to people saying stuff like that to her, to me or whatever. She said, but she was like, but this woman was just relentless, I guess, and just would not stop. And poor Vicky just could barely handle it. It was really getting to her.
I was gonna say I don't know how I would have handled this situation. I would have just been apologizing and never mind, ma'am. Have a nice day. I just never mind.
Vicky said, I was glad it was done over the phone because I was livid.
I'll bet.
They were awful, just awful. But that's Missouri for you.
There's every place is weird. Yep, but that's Bible Belt.
Yep. So, everything that they just don't understand has to be of the devil.
It's an easy cop out.
It is. Yes. Well, yeah. There's more to that.
I said that out loud, didn't I?
But Okay, so let me ask you that then. Of any of the investigations you've done with the group, have you ever felt like you have run into something that was actually evil?
Fortunately, no. I have not had the misfortune of coming across anything quite evil. We've had somebody that was being, I don't know, harassed by an entity, but they liked it, if that makes any sense. And they were able to live with it. This is not who you think. This is someone a long
I was
time,
gonna say I don't know about this one. I don't think.
an older couple, and it's been a long time ago. Oh, because that was the time Vicky will remember because I called John Zaffis and actually spoke to John Zaffis. I was starstruck.
I bet.
uh, I expected someone to answer the phone for him, not him.
Right.
It took me a minute to get myself back together, but we were able to inquire about the entity and figure out what it was about. And it could be a good or it could be bad. So I don't know. I don't know how I always wondered about how they ever fared. I've never heard about them again.
Huh.
And
I yeah, I don't think I was a part of this one because I don't remember this
yeah,
one
that
at
was a
all.
long time ago. It was, yeah, that if Vicky remember, yeah, she was the only one who would remember that I called John Zappis.
You know she does. Vicky, show yourself, woman. What is she talking about?
Yeah, but it befuddled me. But yeah, we were talking about that, and they didn't want it removed or moved on, or I don't know.
She said yes, something protecting a baby.
Yes, that's it. Protecting that baby. I
Okay.
remember that. I
There,
could.
there's more to this, people. Okay, so did Zaphis say it was in fact a demon, or
Yeah,
was it like a
but it is
protection?
it is a demon.
Okay.
Don't use its name.
No, yeah, don't use his name.
Oh no, I have to even clear my head just to even get it out of there. But anyway, yeah, it was. So, but they just kind of faded away, and they're like, well, we'll be okay, and we never heard from them again, I guess.
Right. Um, Dina says, I'd love to interview you guys. You have such interesting stories from investigations. Well, Vicky is your storyteller, Dina.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
tell her I am not the one.
Yeah, I'm not a good storyteller myself. I mean, and the thing is like, I, me myself, I have a whole different perspective on most investigations than the rest of our group too.
Mm.
Everybody else would be like, "Oh my gosh, did you hear that?" And I'm like, "Come on, no." you know. Hey, Warren Society. Um, but yeah. So Vicky, she would be definitely your girl because that girl's full of stories, and she can remember every single one of them.
I don't have the memory for that, so no, no.
So this is a good question, and I think we should preface this question with the fact of how um, Andrea is about things. So where she lives at, because of where she lives at, this girl is a compulsive sager. She always puts a protection around herself. She is the one who carries all of the protection things that we need for investigation, stuff like that. So here is your question, Andrea. Has anything ever followed you home from a place?
Fortunately, no. I've never noticed anything that but for just the local spirits. I've never had fortune, yeah, knock wood. So yeah, no. How about you?
I've not. I've definitely not. No.
Never
no.
feeling like I've no, fortunately, yeah. So, but being over where we live, and yeah, it's probably wise to take some precautions.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I deploy several things. So, oh well, that was different. I don't know, it was different. Yeah, I did have an attachment once, but it wasn't from something paranormal. It was a somebody that I was formerly attached to, but their spirit stayed around me because they liked my energy. But
Wow.
but I had him removed because it wasn't fair to, go find your son, go find your son, go hang out with him.
Right.
I'm boring.
So I'm assuming I apologize, Warren Society. I'm assuming your name is in fact Scott after seeing Vicky's comment. So I'm gonna go with Scott from the Warren Area Society of Paranormal. Wants to know if you get your sage in the wild. Where he lives at, it grows a lot.
Ooh, I don't know where ours comes from. I just pick them up wherever they have them. Usually, I'll just buy a baby bundle of sage or just to
Me
have
too.
extra. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I like it to be responsibly sourced, but I have no control where it comes from.
Right. Hey, Jonathan.
Hi, Jonathan.
Um, yeah, me too. So like if I go into, my shops and stuff, I'll just pick up some while I'm there.
Yeah,
Recently I found though incense, sage incense. So you
yeah,
don't have to burn the
that works
bundle.
out well too. If you don't want to burn the sage, I have all that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but yeah, so Andrea, she's our go-to girl. Just randomly we'll get a message from her. Don't forget to sage everyone.
It's Don't forget to sage, or you might want to sage, or we try. I'd like to sage before we leave a location, but you can't always do that.
But
So,
Vicky makes a good point too. So, and one of the things that we do tell our people is that you are the one who is okay, thank you, Scott. Oh, Mr. Fedora. That's what I know you by. Everybody
mhm.
talks about Mr. Fedora. Okay. So, um Vicky, said it a minute ago. She was like, you know, just tell them they can't come home with you.
Yes,
And that is
yeah,
something that we
stay here.
do.
Yes.
Yeah, we do tell our clients all the time,
Mhm,
you got to set that boundary. You have got to
mhm,
hold strong to it. And you know what I mean? Because it's just
mhm.
with any alive human, you know what I mean? If you don't set your boundaries, you're going to get taken advantage of. You're going
Right.
to be abused, exploited, whatever the case may be. And that might be why I've never had any issues because I'm so blocked off to the whole idea of potential paranormal that I don't think anything wants to attach to me because they're like, that bitch is cold. I don't want nothing to do with her. you know.
That's funny. Um, yeah, I always kind of think, even when I'm in the cemetery, when I leave the cemetery, I just say, "Hey guys, it was nice visiting. I'll catch you later, but you got to hang out here."
Yep.
So can't
Yeah.
come
As a
with.
matter of fact, I think that. Oh, sorry. Vicky was saying she was going to start growing her own sage.
There you
Dina
go.
suggested that she also Palo Santo, sage, black. I can never say this word. Tourmaline, and selenite.
Yeah, and
How do you
selenite.
say that? Is it
Tor-
tourmaline?
Tourmaline, Tour, like tour,
And I've
like
heard it.
Tour de France, but like tourmaline.
And that's the thing. And I've heard people say it, but when I read it, it's like
It looks like French.
yes, it does. So Scott shared that he goes, we had a meeting at McDonald's several years back, and our member Urs walks in and said she had a gift for us. She throws a huge bag on the table that looked like pot, and it was sage.
Oh, I bet that was a good one.
Yep. I bet everybody's like, what the hell?
Like, what? That?
And the thing is, he said
It's
years ago, which means that it probably wasn't legally, allowed yet. So uh,
air
but
fresh.
okay, well, we've been going for an hour. So if anybody has any questions for Andrea, now's the time to ask. Andrea, do you have anything else you want to share with our people?
No, just we're here. Come see us. Look for us on Global Ghost Hunt.
Yep, exactly. And because I am not familiar with the paranormal community as well as Vicky is, I am asking if anybody would like to come on the show and talk about their experiences and themselves. Send me an email. It's lizwithabyss@gmail. You can also hit us up on the Facebook page in the messenger. You'll get Vicky, and she can set something up with you. And then next week, I will have Haley Overseth on the show on Monday. And then Scott says, "Oh, the look on our faces, LOL, not legal." And then Thursday of this week, actually, not next week, Thursday of this week, we will have Steven back. And he will be talking to us about. Oh, Dina had a question for you. She said, "Do you have a favorite haunted place?"
No, not really. I wish I did, but no, I don't. Not anything in particular.
Do you have a least favorite place you investigated?
Hartville. um, yeah, for a few reasons on that one. I think the dolls were like number one. There was a couple close number twos, or many.
Right.
So, but anyway, yeah, no. Where would I like to investigate? Waverly Hills.
I think that's a go-to for everybody.
And that's a bucket list haunting location. So,
Jonathan wants to know, what do I need to protect me from black-eyed children? And Vicky says, John, for starters, put your curtains up. Well, and I'm saying, I'm going to stand by it all the way through, Jonathan. If you don't look at them, then you don't know that they're looking at you. You just ignore them. Just don't look out your window. Vicky said she liked the cabin. That was her favorite place. But you didn't do the cabin with us. You weren't available that night.
that one time, no, not the fun time you had at the cabin.
And Dina's like, so they were all good?
No, not all of them, but a lot of them have good parts to them.
Right. Exactly.
So every one of them has good parts, and some
right.
kind of boring, but
yes.
Yeah.
Some of them are just like, ugh, what are we doing? You know.
I
really
had that night.
I really think my favorite one was the West Plains one. And it's only because,
I said I wasn't for that one either.
I know. And the only reason why I think that one was my favorite, though, was because it was for the first time that I have actually seen something. I captured it. You know what I mean? It was something that was dismissed by other people that actually said, what the hell am I looking at? You know, me, the skeptic. And I'm like, I cannot disprove this. I can't. There's no logical explanation for this. I mean, a shadow comes out of the ceiling, flies by the camera, stops at the window as if it's looking out going, oh, what a beautiful day, rolls, and then drops to the floor.
That's crazy.
You can't explain that shit. That really was, you know. So that I think that's my favorite.
That video.
Yeah, that was a crazy find.
Nuts. But yeah, we all have a good one, but that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So, and what I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, let's wrap.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to say, so Stephen will be on this Thursday, though. And this, like I said earlier in the show, we will be talking about mermaids. So he's studying up on that and trying to see if there's any correlation between mermaids and sirens, etc. So join us Thursday, 6 p.m., okay, Central Standard Time. And again, if you want to come on the show, send us an email or a private message and we'll get you on, okay? All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Andrea, thank you so much
for having me.
No problem. I'll see everybody later.
Thanks, guys. Bye.